Points are bullshit. Rubrics are bullshit. You get 100% on a rubric, it doesn't fucking matter. You don't know everything. If you do poorly on it with a rubric, who cares? You're not going to get a lot of rubrics in life outside of the classroom. You're going to be dealing with people who have emotions. And you need to learn how to deal with that. Because believe it or not, teachers are people with emotions. And they'll do weird shit because of their emotions. For example, there was a teacher that I once had at the college level. You knew that you wanted to get your assignment in as soon as possible, so it was at the bottom of the pile. Because this professor was notorious for taking all of his assignments at one time, going to a bar/restaurant, and getting hammered as he grades his papers. And as he got deeper into his pile, the grades got better and better and better. I saw an instance, University of Alabama, Birmingham, the Humanities Building. It is an ugly building. It looks like something out of a Stanley Kubrick film, like a 1970s military bunker kind of thing. It's this big gray concrete tower kind of thing that has 4, I think, floors to it. And on the outside are the balcony hallways where you have to walk outside. And I was staying on the 3rd floor, and I was talking to some girl. We were talking about an ice storm that was coming. In Alabama, if you say the word ice storm or snow, everybody goes batshit crazy. They run all over the place, buying all the bread and all the milk, and they just go crazy because they can't deal with, a 1/4 inch of snow. So I'm standing out here talking to this girl about this snowstorm that's supposedly coming and shutting down the school for a few days. A professor comes out. I'll never forget it because he was wearing the Hawaiian shirt, and he had the kind of Santa glasses on with the bushy beard, and he overheard us talking. He had his arms full of papers. And he said, "Excuse me, what did you say?" "Well, there's a snowstorm." And he just instantly turned red and instantly became angry. And he just threw all the papers off the 3rd balcony. I'll never forget it because the ones that were stapled, the papers that were stapled, fluttered down kind of like a bird. The ones with paper clips, some of them stayed together, some of them didn't. And the ones with the stupid fucking little plastic little sleeve things that people use, which are so dumb that, one would, the sleeve would go one way, the paper would go the other way. And he just yelled, "Everybody gets a B." And just walked off. And he had some of his students standing right behind him because they had just come out of the classroom too. And they saw this. And this was midterm stuff. This was not a lightweight paper. Now, I don't know if everybody got a B, but I do know that none of those papers were picked up because we stood there and waited for him to turn around saying, "There's no fucking way we're going to just watch this happen." And it did. He never came back. Those papers were never graded. Well, legitimately never graded. I can tell you from my own personal experience, there have been many, many students who have come to one of my classes. They come all the time that they can. They're always participating. They're always trying. They're asking questions. They're genuinely thinking. They're genuinely struggling. They're looking for things outside of what's discussed in class. They're ticking all my boxes. And if their grade, in terms of their points, comes out to be something that I look at and say, "You know what, that's not fair," I'll give them an A. No problem. I think I've given somebody who had a 72 average an A before for that reason. Because I think that's outstanding. I think that's well above average. To squeeze every single drop of opportunity that you have, regardless of what your prior knowledge, your prior skills were. You were trying to make yourself better. Fucking A, I'm your friend. Now, I can also talk about how some douchebags who just showed up coasting through things and they didn't end up getting an A. They had points that said they should have an A, but I found ways to change that. And that's what a boss does. That's what a spouse does. That's what a landlord does. That's the kind of consequences that students need to be more aware of, as opposed to how many points am I going to get taken off for spelling? How many points is that worth? How many points is this worth?